Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Essay Speaks, where we talk about faith, love, purpose, and everyday life. At this point, I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of movie series because I'm about to bring to you another movie series review. And with me to talk about that is Kike.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me again on your channel.
Thank you, Kike. Very soon we'll tag you as a frequent collaborator because I'm still enjoying our sessions together.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've kind of like seen this movie together, so we just thought, okay, let's just talk about it together. So the series is Just Us Girls Global Series. I mean, is that what it's called? Just Us
Yeah,
Girls.
Just As Girls Global Series, yes.
Yeah, so it's just a story of different girls in different stages of their life. Or let me just say, about three of them are like in the same stage of their life, and then we had like a small attaché, a teenager, and um, we're not going to talk about her today, but I think I've mentioned her before in a couple of videos I've done together, or I've done on my channel. So today we just want to review the movie. I mean, there have been 4 episodes now. Seasons. Season 1, 2, 3, 4, and the season 4 is currently showing every Tuesday. So if you want to see the movie, just go to search for Just Us Girls Global channel, I think, on YouTube, and then you see the series Just Us Girls Global Series. I'm going to put um the poster as well on my YouTube page so that at least you can recognize the movie. So I want to talk about some of the characters in the movie today. Kike, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
So if you know me, you know I'm in love of love because my channel is about love. So in case you're bored of hearing love stories, please, I'll continue to bring them both on relationship and on marriage. So they want to talk about Koi is like the main character, I think, because I think the movie revolves around her. So Koi, so from a rich home, she has like a rich mother who's a bit controlling, and the mother wants to be in charge of everything that happens to her, including her marriage. So Coin brought this guy, church guy, loves the Lord, loves her, but it wasn't really up to her standard when it comes to financials. And so the mother was like, no, this is not my class, and he kind of like rejected him, and then brought another boxed up boy that they were in the same class, in quotes by in quotes when it comes to the mother's perspective, she felt okay doing the same class, and somehow something happened and Coin left. Let me call his name Muna, the guy who loves her, loves the Lord, and was like perfect for her, to the rich guy, who was from a rich home and could take care of her because of her mother's pressure. And so a lot have been going on. So I mean, this is just like a brief overview of the movie when it comes to Coin. Please, I need you to go see that movie so at least you can be able to relate to this review today. So I want to talk about Coin first. Do you think that Coin is confused? Like a lot of things have happened in her life, and at this point, I don't even know who Coin is. I thought Coin was a Christian. I mean, Coin has made lots of mistakes. Coin does not even know what she wants. So the last part, which we might focus more on, was the fact that Konya was about to get married to, her Prince Charming, who is rich from a rich home. Kind of like forgotten his name. What's his name now? What's his name?
Tomiwa.
Tomiwa. Yeah, she was going to get married to Tomiwa. And she had a rethink on the wedding day and she left him. So, for the fact that Konya was able to get to the point of, you know, getting married to this guy, do you think that she's a bit confused or she doesn't even know what she wants, or she just tossed to and fro? What do you think is the problem of Coin?
I think she knows what she wants. She knows what she wants and she knows what she doesn't want. I don't know if that makes sense, but she knows that there's something wrong with this Tommy White guy, and if she goes to that altar and says I do, she cannot say I don't anymore. So I think it was that fear that just made her run. Like, I'd rather embarrass myself, my family, my husband to be, her husband to be, rather than, rather than,
You never embarrass your husband to
rather than, her going into a lifetime of regret. So I think she's well within her rights to, but I think she should have made that decision, before the wedding day to save um the other people involved from a lot of embarrassment. But I think she's finally getting to the stage of, wanting to run her life by her own terms. And as for her being a Christian, I don't know. The movie did not really depict that part of walk, our Christian walk. So yeah, it's a bit vague. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe to an extent. But I think at the initial stage, we had her going to church. She loved the Lord. She was actually actively going to church, even dragging her roommates to church. At the time, she was always going with Mona to church. But suddenly, after Mona, they broke up. We didn't hear anything about her Christian life, which makes it kind of like question her Christian life. Was she actually a Christian, or she was just tagging along? Because if you say you are truly a Christian, then a relationship should not stop your relationship with God. Of course, she's coming from a background where her parents, her mom was not really a Christian, or is not really a Christian. So I mean, it kind of like makes me question, like, do people change because of relationship? Can you change because, okay, you're with somebody who loves the Lord, just the way Ella is right now? Because I don't think Ella is a Christian, but of course she's trying to be noble, she's trying to be a good girl because of Mona. So do you think that relationship can change you, or maybe we don't just know who Coin was initially?
If I get you correctly, you're asking if being in a relationship with someone who is a Christian can influence. Well, I would say it's possible. I mean, it's possible, but even if it starts as the person's Christianity starts as an influence from an external person, but it still boils down to having that personal work and saying, God, I'm here, I want to do this by myself. So please help me. So yeah, it can start like that, but it gets better when it grows deeper when when the individual has that sense of I want to get to know God by myself.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think this is actually true because some girls they'll be like, okay, I mean this guy's life to change him. I mean this like guy's life to make him serious with God. I've been there before, I've tried to help support somebody's spiritual journey. Thinking, okay, the reason why God is calling me into this guy's life is to be the one to take his relationship with God to the next level. And I was doing my best. I will always call him, have you read your Bible today? Did you go to Bible study? And things like that. And I tried my best. And he was actually, his work with God was sort of improving. Whether he was doing it because he was in a relationship with me is what I do not know. But he tried his best, but the moment our relationship ended, that was the end. I couldn't like hear anything about his Christian journey. But I think what is most important, like you said, is we have to like have that personal encounter, personal conviction. That's why the Bible says if you confess with your mouth and you believe in your heart, you are saved. And then he starts talking about renewal. He said, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So ladies out there, guys out there, you can support somebody, you can help somebody to deepen their work with God, but it will still be their sole responsibility to to transform their mind, to be responsible for their spiritual growth. So don't say that, okay, God is calling you into that journey to transform the life of your future spouse, and so your job is to make them love God more. No, no, you can help them, you can influence them, but it is still their sole responsibility, and they need to pay attention to that aspect of their life. So for Koi, do you think that she made poor, I mean, you touched on this, but do you think that she made poor choices because there was nobody around, or she was just tired of her mother rejecting the people that she brought, and she just wanted like get married to Tomiwa? But because, I mean, if you want to compare Muna and Tomiwa, these are two opposite people. Like, how did she even come up with the decision? Do you think that also, apart from her, maybe girls, face this pressure when it comes to what their parents want and what they want, and at some point, women just make that mistake. Oh, let me just marry for the sake of my mother and move on. And some people actually make that mistake, but unlike in Coin's case, now she was like, okay, at the point of marriage, she was like, no, I don't want this anymore. So
Well, it's possible for people to get married based on different reasons. And one of those reasons is because of parental pressure and control. Like in Coin's case, a mother had too much control over her life, which I don't really understand. Honestly, it baffles me that a medical doctor and I'm also kind of like happy that the relationship between her and Muna did not work out, because the truth is, even if she had married, even if the mother did not actually reject Muna, the mother would still have been trying to make Muna feel small, and I don't think it would be good for their marriage. So I believe that if she really loves the guy, she would stand up for him, stand up for what she believes in, and not hide under a mother's controlling, because I believe it's getting old. That excuse is getting old, that our mother is controlling. So because if the tables were turned and Mona's mother is controlling, they will call him a mommy's boy. I mean, women are quick to say mommy's boy, mommy's boy. So I'm not saying they're not mommy's boys or whatever. I don't want to use that term because but I just believe that maybe she finally had the courage to stand up for what she wants. But it's best for her to be able to, even if it's not Mona she ends up with in this series, it's best for her to be able to look her mother in the eye and say, enough is enough. I want to, do my own thing myself. So
So are you permitting? So you don't mind, a daughter standing up to her mother? You don't mind that. That's the scenario.
I think based on the relationship they've shown us in this series, it's like a servant slave relationship. There is no collaborative relationship between Konya and her mother. If her mother asks her to jump, she needs to ask how high. There's no collaboration. Her mother chooses a career. Her mother chooses where she lives. Her mother chooses the kind of friends that she has, the kind of people she allows. It's a lot of her mother's controlling over her. So I believe that parents-child relationship should not be master slavery. It should be just as the relationship we have with God. Like we want, of course, we reverence God as our Father and all of that, but we still have that. We come to God. Bible says that we come to Him as little children. We have that father-daughter, father-son relationship with God, and you can always be free to talk to God. So why can't you be free to talk to your own earthly parents in a respectful and collaborative way? I just believe it's not right. There's something about that relationship that's not okay. So if she needs to stand up to her mom, then she should.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you because I mean it's already getting too much. It's just in the last episode we saw where the mother even slapped her and told her to.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, and
It's exhausting.
when she even told the mom that okay, this is what this guy is not good for me. He's done this, he's done that. I mean, I don't know if you saw that part. And the mother still did not like listen to her. The mother insisted that oh, you have to go apologize to him, apologize to his parents, for doing the wrong thing, of course, for embarrassing them. So I think it has to come to the point where she has to stand up and say, Mom, you've done enough for me. You've been there for me. You've supported me. But at this point, when it comes to my marriage, you cannot have the final say. And
Mhm.
it's okay if parents, are supporting you in the right direction. Because the Bible says, is it children obey your parents in the Lord? Like he's saying, if they are in the Lord, they are supporting you to serve God, to do the right thing. It's not when they are like luring you into, negative, you know, things that could have negative circumstances, negative outcomes. So in this case, this guy is not good for her. And the only reason why the mom wants her to marry him is because of money. And money is not everything, right? So I think she has to like stand up, you know, for her rights. Do you think that do you think that Coin will ever eventually get there to the point where she's able to stand up and say, Mom? Or do you think she's still
Well, maybe there'll be a season 5 when she would finally get there. But honestly, I mean, I don't know what the writer has planned, but it's I mean it's time already for her to. I mean it's time already, and I actually believe that the fact that she could walk out on her own wedding and not come for the wedding. I thought that was it. She has gotten, but the fact that her mom can still slap her and still, I thought she had enough courage. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to not attend her wedding. So I'm not understanding this part of she's still trying to explain to her mother, more like get her mother's permission or come. It's I don't know. Maybe there'll be a season 5 when she finally stand up to her mother. But to be honest, I don't know if any other viewer shares my sentiments, but it's just, I mean, look at how Jite's brother stood up to his mother in the hospital and said, "You've done enough." And I mean, I was like, okay, yeah, that's very, very good, because seeing that his sister was beaten up like this by Otuba's wife, and it was like, no, no, we can't keep treating our sister like this because of money. So I don't know what they are planning. Maybe she.
wait. I think that people have different temperaments. Like me, I'm the flag son. So the phlegmatic part of me is calm, I'm not one that is willing to, start a fight, I'll try to avoid fight as much as possible. I'll try to give excuses as much as possible. So that is my temperament, right? Jite's brother, he doesn't have that temperament. He's from the very, very, belligerent, is that the word now? part where they are eager to fight, they're eager to, they don't mind, fighting if there's opportunity to do so. So I think Koyi might have that a bit of a calm nature. So of course she should have gotten to the point where there's a straw that breaks the camel's back and she can't have it anymore. But I think she hasn't gotten to that point. Maybe when she gets there. But I think
She's
it's
in
her
fight.
nature. It's
Or
her
season
nature.
6.
Because I can imagine myself like being in that
Season
situation.
7.
I would try to avoid it. Besides, she has gone for the conference, so who knows what's going to happen next, right? So,
Please.
so make excuse for her temperament. Her temperament is so calm, is not ready to fight. So that might be the reason why she.
About about temperament, sorry if I may jump in here. About temperament, I understand that people have different temperaments and all, but please, in a situation where there is this build, for example, a building is engulfed with fire and the emergency exits are, you can't even see the emergency exits clearly. Everyone is trying to. There's no flex. Yeah, I'm a very calm person. I have to let the sanguines and the choleric people who are more extroverted in nature try and get out of this fire first. I have. I'm a phlegmatic person. I have to wait until. No, everybody struggles to get out. Like there are situations where your temperament. It's not about the temperament. It's about this is our life for crying out loud. The half of the people pressuring other people to get married, what they will do is at the end of the wedding reception, they say bye bye and they go. It's left for the husband and the wife, newly wedded people, to now face their life and face it squarely. So if Kanye has a right to speak up and say this thing is not good for me, then speak up to your mother. Don't say your temperament, because if it's real fire, you will not talk about temperament. You would want to get out of the place.
Yeah.
So that's my own opinion, Sha. Maybe because I'm tired of this whole back and forth with my mother. Honestly, I am. So
Maybe because your temperament will not act in that direction.
no, I'm actually flag. Those who know me very know that I'm flag. So I'm just saying that there are some general, cases that people need to just, take the book
Understand.
beyond.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree with you. And so, do you think that Coin deserves Mona? Would you like to see the story end to it? Mona coming back to Coin, going back to Mona, or
I
you
know
she should
I
be
know
with Mona?
majority of the people of the viewers watching this series wants that to be the happy and ending ever after. But for me, I see that two of them need to go on separate journeys of in knowing what they want. For example, Coin, for example, needs to know what if Tomiwa was a good guy and had no drug problem. I hope we can say that on YouTube, it's not be flagged. And did not have that problem, she will not remember that
Mona exists.
Mona exists. It will be like, okay, maybe my mother wanted what knew what was best for me, and then she would move on. Mona, on the other hand, he knows fully well that he's not yet over this person, and then succumbing to the pressure, because I know Ella too can have her ways, succumbing to the pressure of Ella to start a relationship. I just felt that relationship was a disaster, and Ella deserves more than being second fiddle to somebody. And I think women out there should know that don't try and input yourself in somebody's life if they've not invited you in. So that's just it. So I think both of them need to go on separate journeys of discovering who they are and what they want and see if it can work out. So that's my own opinion. Whatever the writer decides to do, anyway, it's fine.
I think that Mona has already like separated from Coin now, so it's not like.
Indeed, he has, because he was worried when she was allegedly kidnapped. So obviously, I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
Okay. But I
I
mean,
don't
like, they're
think.
not together, so at least he has had a taste of
Technically,
their
yes.
relationship, so he can make a guess on, okay, being with these two different women, who do I want to be with? So the question is, does Coin deserve Muna? Like, after all she has put him through, do you think that Ella is a better girl for him?
Ella is vindictive. She has a lot of revenge going on, with her. So I think I won't say even both of them deserve each other. I mean sorry, Mona and Koyin. I don't know if they deserve each other. Of course, Mona tried his best to make things work. Even after the rejected first proposal, he still was still there and everything. But I think both of them need to go on separate healing journeys. Both of them before they can come back together and make it work. But coming back together just because it's just going to be another disaster in the future. They both need to go on separate healing journeys, and I wouldn't say they both deserve each other at this point.
Okay, thank you for that. And to an extent, I agree with you. They need to like understand what they want out of life, what their relationship is meant to be, what is
Sure.
the purpose of God bringing them together, and where, I mean, do they see a future with the two of them in there? So they need to like ascertain what, what they want, and they be able to make that decision. Because at this point, I think Connie does not know what she wants yet. So if she doesn't know what she wants, she might not even be the right fit for Muna. And Muna is a bit confused. So you don't enter into a relationship where you are not without a purpose. Because at this point, I don't think he has seen marriage. He had seen, Ella in his future, even though Ella is like supporting his dreams, his business is growing, she's that career that is ready to, I mean, that person is ready to support his career and his business. But I don't think Mona sees Ella as someone that is marriageable. So he needs to sit down and say, okay, what is my ideal woman? What do I want in a woman? Does Ella tick all this box? If she doesn't, please kindly let her go. And do I think that Coin is fit for me? If she doesn't, don't be in a relationship. And this is where he needs to like just clear his head, like you said, and determine what he wants. And then I think I want to talk about going back to your ex. Like, people think that, okay, maybe if you've been with an ex before and maybe the guy was good, you guys did not really break up out of a negative reason. Do you think that all those comeback exes work? I mean, I've had several situations of it not working. Like, I had an opportunity to go back to an ex at one point, because it's not like we had any issue. It was just that we just said we wanted to go our separate ways. And when it was time for us to come back together, like, okay, at least this person was not really a bad person. But most times, I feel like those ex relationships they work. But sometimes they work. But what do you think? Like in this case of Mona and Colin, if they now rethink and think that, okay, maybe we're meant to be together, and they come back together, do you think it's finally work, or is it a god
Well,
factor?
I don't know about it though, honestly. I have my own reservations. So I want to believe that people going back to their exes, it should be situation specific and individual specific if they decide to. But I don't know if, I mean, I don't know. From my disposition, you can tell my position. So I'm not um I'm not totally in support of that. I mean, if people decide to go their separate ways, there's a reason, and if they decide to come back, I don't know. I think there's a big elephant. I don't think I don't have a comment on this, honestly.
Okay. I mean, your
I
comment is
believe
I
all things are
do
passed away.
agree.
That's my own so
But
mm,
if you prayerfully,
it's
get a leading
ah,
from God to come back again,
I,
maybe it was a
I
mistake.
would just like Gideon Abi, who asked for fleas in the Bible. I would need a lot of multiple confirmations and confirmations and confirmations. I don't know. I can't. Mm-mm.
Never return to your ex.
I it's I can't. Mm-mm.
You can't do. You can't do. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Let's talk about one other character before we go. Um, should we talk about Jite or Ame? Choose one.
I don't know. You decide. You're the host.
Jite. Do you think Jite has learned her lesson? Like, because towards the end of like the last episode I showed on TV, she was like, okay, she wants to stop the big girl life. She hasn't traveled before, you know. She just wants to be well taken care of, and I know there's a genuine desire. I mean, I think maybe this is how God wired a woman. I mean, let me look at the what's it called now? The what do we call this? The beginner story or the introduction story. What do we call the word? The creation story rather. God brought Eve to Adam, and everything was already set. She didn't have to like work for anything, because everything was well laid down for her. So I think the average girl's mind is that I want a soft baby girl like I want to be well taken care of and all of that. And so Jite wants that, right? That's why the fact that her eyes are seeing, Shege in the hands of Otuba's wife and whatever she went through. And God kind of like intervened in her healing and all of that. But I think if Jite has the opportunity again, she might still go back to, you know, having that soft baby girl life. Like, when I say soft baby girl life, like being with somebody who is not, you're not meant to be with, like a married man and all of that. Do you think that she has recovered from it? Me, I think she hasn't. But what do you think?
I share your sentiments as well because, and I think I know where she's coming from in terms of, oh, I want to be taken care of, because she's been the sole breadwinner of our family for years. She's had to give up her own education, her own dreams, just so she can sponsor her younger ones to school. And she has a mother who's always demanding and does not care where she gets the money from. So I think I understand why she wants to relax and, somebody, pay her bills. But making this a more wider conversation about women wanting to be taken care of. I mean, it's not a bad thing to
Mm-hmm.
get somebody to take care of you, but the truth is we need to ask ourselves, at what cost? Some people can say, oh, I want baby girl life. At what cost? Is it costing me my relationship with God? It's going to cost me my identity? It's going to cost me things that I can never afford. So I think it's good while you're still waiting for the person that God will send your way to bless you and give you baby girl status. I think just do what you can for yourself, be contented, and just celebrate yourself in your own little way. The baby girl life can just be, maybe if you're a working class lady, maybe once in a month, take yourself to the spa, just a small amount, or just buy yourself something nice. And it could just be a beautiful perfume. It could just be that nice weave. Just do it for yourself and appreciate yourself, because if you appreciate yourself, you won't take less from anybody. So that's just what I want to say. But I think Jite would, she's coming to that point where she's going to get better, and she's one of the characters that have improved a lot in this series. I mean, I don't know about Konyi, but God will.
She prayed to God now. She prayed to God in the last series. So like
Ah,
she met an angel. Oh, that experience
yes,
was so
that
beautiful.
was an angel in the hospital.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
yeah.
an angel.
That was so beautiful. I mean, like you said, GT has improved. I remember when she was loving one guy blindly, and where she
Samuel,
lost, eh?
Sammy.
Sammy, yeah, and
Yes.
then she lost her business. That guy was just wasting her time. And then, okay, she said, okay, I think I've worked hard enough and I deserve to be well taken care of. And then she met this Otumba that took care of her, and then now she has lost everything, and then she's back to square one. And I think the story here is that we should be resilient, we should not be tired of starting all over again. These are some of the situations that come in life. Sometimes you put in a lot of effort and some things may not work out, but you should be ready to, stand up again, take the bull by the horn, start that business again. Like you saw was it her employees that came over and they were like trying to encourage her that you can start this business from your home. And I think those were brilliant ideas that Jite can actually look into and get back on her feet again instead of depending on a man to take care of you. Of
Yeah.
course, I mean, like you said, you can enjoy all those benefits, but at what cost? So you have to be mindful that you're getting the self baby girl life from the right sport, from the right person, and God can give you a partner that is well to do, well did, that would spoil you, treat you like the queen that you are. So instead of you trying to sell your body, being a second wife, going through all of that, taking what is not yours because you want that self baby girl life, it's not worth it. So this is just to tell every young girl out there, that is, trusting God for improvement in their career, in your relationship life. As long as you put your trust in God, it might take time sometimes, but just keep trusting God. He will come through for you, and you have the last laugh, and that will be like a beautiful ending. So I do hope that Gita finds love, and she finds, she bounces back from her career. I mean, her business failure. That's my prayer for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on GT and Coin? What should we should expect in the next episode?
Well, I don't know what to expect next episode. Perhaps they will go for their conference and they will come back and she finally have the courage to tell her mother she's done with all of that. So that's what I think, that this new season will be a season of recovery for all of them.
Yeah, okay. I think I believe so too. I mean, at least she has found out that Tomiwa was not the best person for her because it
Mhm.
took a while for her to discover that part of Tomiwa. She knew that there was
Yes.
something not right with him, but she hadn't
You
like seen
cannot
it.
place
So
this.
I
Yes.
think that God, I mean, finally she was able to see it with her two eyes,
Hmm.
and she can believe that okay, no matter what, this is not where I want to return to. So I mean, she can make that final decision. I mean, till the next episode, we don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that session today. Time will not, permit us to talk about Ame, talk about what's that small lady's name again? I've forgotten her name.
Ife.
Ife, time enough I'm going to talk about other characters, even the ones I went to do BBL, and I don't even know if she lost her life, time enough I'm going to talk about that. Maybe subsequent session. If we see something interesting, we might touch on this again. If not, this might be the end of review of Justice Girls. But this is just an enlightenment video, so for you to go and watch it, there are several lessons you can learn from there. Teenagers can learn, young girls can learn, mothers can learn, just go to Justice Girls Google page and watch it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to our channel. And thank you, Kike, for giving your review
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Yeah, see you guys in our next video. Bye.
Bye.